So I've got a question for you and I've got a recommendation for you that you might want to heed rather quickly. Stick around. So first, the question. I have a lot of Yukon Gold potatoes that I dug earlier this year. I laid them out on this table. I've kept them here all summer long. They have they've stored great. Some of them are still in great shape. I've had to throw a few away that you can see where some of them kind of got a little funky and I had to throw away. Some of them started rotting a little bit, but by and large, most of them have stayed viable and could have been edible. But they've gotten a little bit soft, just a little spongy. Probably, if I was hungry, they would be edible. But that's not what the question's about. I've never kept or stored potatoes for planting the following year. Some of you do that. Some of you know how to do that or the ins and outs of doing that, and that's what I'm asking you. These have already started sprouting, which I'm very pleased with, except, but I mean, that lets me know that they're viable, but it's early. I can't really plant potatoes until about the middle of February in my zone. So maybe early February, maybe, but you know, that's a maybe. So the question is this: do I need to do anything special to these to hold them for another 2 months? I mean, that's 2 months away. Do I need to do anything special to hold them for 2 months? Because they're getting, I mean, obviously that needs to be in the ground right now. It's just, I can't put it in the ground in my climate. Is there something I need to do to slow down the growth? Or should I just let it happen? I mean, some of them are getting after it. I mean, man, I wish that was in the ground right now, or ready to go in the ground right now. That's beautiful. Another one right there. So my question is, should I do something to discourage any further sprouting or any further growth? If there is anything I can do to discourage further growth, I don't want to cut that off, because that may be the only darn eye the thing's got. I mean, it looks like maybe something's starting right there, but I don't want to break off something that's probably the only reason it's viable. But I don't want to. I don't know if they will keep right here, or should they go in a refrigerator? Should they go? What should I do with them? Where should I keep them? Of course, the barn this time of year is going to be a cold storage. It may not be a refrigerator, but it'll be cold. I mean, cool. But they've kept in here all summer long in a hot barn. So that's the part I'm amazed about. But my question is, before I get to my recommendation for you, my question is, is there something I should do to keep them viable, or just leave them alone and they will be fine, and they may have a lot more growth? You know, they may have a lot more growth, which would be fine with me, I guess. Might allow me to plant them a little deeper and maybe even get some more potatoes. But is there something I should do right now to hinder the growth, to stifle the growth, slow it down, or should I just leave them alone and just let them be and let them do all they're going to do, be all they can be, and then put them in the ground come early or middle February? That's what I need to know, because this is some those beautiful Yukon Gold potatoes from Hoss Tools. Now, the reason I'm asking you this is, if these are not going to be viable, I need to put in an order at Hoss Tools and get me some more coming. Go ahead and schedule a delivery of seed potatoes when they are ready at Hoss. So that's why I need to know now what to do about these. Now, my recommendation for you is, start ordering your seeds now. Start ordering your supplies now. If you want seed potatoes, order them now. If you want any of the seeds you may want, any of the seeds you may want for next year to start. I mean, seed starting I'm in zone 8. Seed starting out here begins in about a month. Toward the end of January, we start tomatoes and peppers. Give them a good 6 weeks before we put them in the ground, 6 or 8 weeks. So it's getting close to seed buying time. Not necessarily seed starting time, but seed buying time. So my recommendation is that anything you're going to do for a spring garden, and you should, because you've seen what the grocery stores look like, and the shortages that we have, things like that. If it gets any worse, and it likely will, I don't know why it's going to, why it would get any better. If it gets any worse, then we're going to have issues with supply, with vegetable supply. Either order your seeds now or go ahead and get them secured. Go ahead and buy them. If you buy at Haas, I would suggest you do that pretty quick. And go ahead and secure your fertilizers. If you use Haas fertilizer, last year they ran out of wheel hose, they ran out of fertilizers, they ran out of some seeds, quite a bit of these varieties of seeds, because last year with COVID and everything, and the year before, it was just a bust. I mean, everybody wanted to start gardening because they were scared to death. And you know, I'm not saying anybody should be scared. We're not supposed to live in fear. But if you don't have a healthy skepticism about how great things are going to be from here on out, you probably need to develop a skepticism for that, because I just don't think anything's going to get any better for a long time. So with that in mind, order your seeds, order your fertilizers. If you use a commercial fertilizer that you buy locally, then go to the feed stores and get you a couple of bags of fertilizer, whatever you think you'll need for the year, and go ahead and get that secured and put somewhere in a dry place, and go ahead and do that now. I just believe you will be thankful you did. Now, things may get better. I may be very wrong, but I don't think so. So secure your stuff, secure your seeds, secure your fertilizers. I know Haas also ran out of, I think they wanted some Bug Buster 2 last year, and they ran out of that. So all the stuff that you think you might want or need for next year, then go ahead and order those now. But first of all, I need to know about those. What in the world do I do with something sprouting 2 months before it's time? Now, they've been sprouting for a month or more, but they're starting to get big. You know, that's inch long, inch and a half long. Those are, with a crook in it, that's 2.5, maybe 3 inches long. Do I do anything with these? Do I let them go, leave them alone, right where they are? Or do I try to stunt the growth on them? And number 2, get your stuff together for gardening in the spring. That means fertilizer, that means seeds, that means anything that you think, chemicals of any kind, anything you might need, anything you needed last year, guess what? You're going to need again this year. Maybe even more of it this year. So, because places are going to start running out, I am afraid. So do that, and I think you'll have a good gardening year, like I hope I do too. I just need to know what to do with those dadgum things. Anyway, we're gone.